Hi guys, welcome to the Billiard Network, the home of global pool on YouTube. My name is IMRAN MAHID, aka the Maharaja, and what a treat we got in store for you guys. Joshua FILLER versus Fedor GORST, arguably the best two players on the planet right now. This match has taken place earlier on this year in February at the EUROTOUR in Treviso in Italy. And this really is quite a treat. It's not often that you get two world champions going head to head. Fedor is the current and reigning world champion, and Joshua FILLER won the world championship a couple of years ago in 2018. This is the last 32 match, and Fedor breaks off in rack 1. Fairly productive break. Got the 1 in the side and has got a shot on the 2. Does have a problem though. The 4 and 8 are clustered together, so he'll have to figure out a plan to try and attack that cluster and maybe break them open. Not an easy shot to deal with. He'll have to figure out a nice angle on the 3 ball, just where he's pointing his cue now. He just wants his cue ball to drift slightly over to have short side position on the 3 so he can attack the 4 and 8. So probably has to draw this a little bit. Just centre ball striking, draw it. Now he's got a nice angle where he can make the 3 and hit the long rail with his cue ball and go into the 4-8 cluster, hopefully developing the 4 to a potable position. That's what he's just looking at now. Fedor came through the loser's side in this tournament. Took a defeat to Russia's Rodislaw Babika. Sorry, not Russia. Poland. He lost that match with a scoreline of 9-5. Fedor at the tender age of 20. And Joshua, only a couple of years older, at 22. What does that tell us about the game these days? Yes, at the top level, it's definitely a young man's game. Like I said, both recent world champions. So it's really quite a treat for you guys watching two world champions facing off. That was quite a touchy shot. Had to use some left-hand English on it and controlled it very well, snookering Joshua behind the 8 ball. Now Joshua has a puzzle, a conundrum to deal with. How does he hit this ball? Well, his 1 rail path is taken away, so I like going 2 rails to the end rail, the short rail, and then use the long rail, and maybe a touch of spin, touch of right hand English, and wants to make contact with the rail just before the 4 ball so he can make the combination 4 onto the 8 and hopefully have a shot afterwards. He's just checking his angles. I think he's going to play the shot I predicted. Short rail, long rail with a touch of right hand English. Wow, what an amazing shot there. What a great kick shot by the young sensation in Joshua FILLER. That was really, really tricky, and he judged it to perfection. Yeah, I must warn you, fasten your seatbelts, guys. There's going to be some explosive 9-ball action on your screens right now. And there you just caught a glimpse of Joshua's shot-making prowess. So elected to go up and down the table, wanted to let his stroke go, which is always a sensible decision. Didn't want to make contact with the 7. But mind you, it was a fine window from the 7 and the 9. He had a small gap to negotiate there. So slightly caught the 7 ball and has lost ideal position. So this is another kind of shot where you want to let your stroke go, really. I don't really want to roll this in. I want to play this with a touch of right-hand English and maybe go around 3 or 4 rails and try and get your cue ball back into the center of the table. That's exactly what he's tried, but unfortunately hit the 9 ball again. Was a good shot, just unfortunately didn't quite get the correct path for the cue ball. Now he's faced with a really tricky shot. This is a touch of right-hand English to try and throw this 7 ball into the pocket. It's a tricky shot, and he's got to bear down on this one. But if anyone can, this man can. You see he's just off center striking. And it looked really good. It was a great effort. But unfortunately has gifted Fedor a good chance to take rack number 1. I can play this just sensible stun into the long rail and try and get his cue ball near the 9 ball. Ideally you want to be close to your object ball. Center ball striking, stand off the rail, nice shape on the 9, and Fedor should take first blood. Joshua to break rack number 2. Let's see how he hits them. Not one of his best breaks, I must say. Didn't make a ball, and it was illegal as well. So for those of you who don't know, there is the 3-point rule in effect, where you have to make a total of 3 points. Each ball you make on the break counts as a point, and each ball that goes past the head string also counts as a point. So you need a total of 3 or more for it to be deemed a legal break. A tricky shot, just maybe touch of left-hand English here, help the 1 ball in. Maybe go 2 rails, try and get your cue ball into the center of the table. Doesn't look like he's hit that quite hard enough. Yeah, his speed control was a little bit off there. Some players, well most players at the top level do have a system for controlling their speed. I like to use a system on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, 0 being the lowest speed, or 1 being the lowest speed, and 10 being the highest speed. And you can always put a speed control number to your shot. Like the shot he just played, where he underhit it. That could have maybe been a 4 speed out of 10. So for you, all you amateurs out there, it's always a good idea to put a speed, a number from 1 to 10 to your shot. It'll give you a better idea of your speed control. Now it's probably going to clip this very fine and go behind the wall of balls. Nicely executed. Joshua faced with a dilemma. I like playing at this venue, the EUROTOUR in TREVISO. The good thing is Venice is just down the road, so if you do lose, you're not in a bad spot. You know, you can always take a cab down to Venice beautiful scenic city of Venice. Check out some bars, restaurants, shops. He wants to catch this from behind and send it down table, and that was a great kick shot. Yeah, Joshua's pulled out 2 great kick shots already in this match, and that was played as intended, and has got Fedor in a bit of bother here. I mean, he could elect to jump over the 4 ball to try and hit it, or he could kick at it using 2 rails. Let's see what he does. I think he's looking at a 1 rail kick and maybe catch the 2 half ball or a quarter ball to try and get some separation. Yeah, that looks like what he's playing. There you see the carbon fiber shaft. Yeah, just as intended. He wanted to catch it thin, maybe quarter ball, to leave some distance. But this guy here is not afraid of any shot on the pool table. I fancy him to make this, so he's probably gonna draw this with some low left, come 2 rails back to the short rail for 3. See that? Excellent shot, yeah. Great execution. Hardly hit that ball, you know. It was more like technique than power. It was a pure stroke, and he just floated the ball. You see how he didn't hit the ball hard there? You don't need to hit the ball hard for that kind of shot. It's more about technique. Having a smooth stroke and a smooth contact. Sets him up nicely for this rack. Just a touch of high right on this ball. Can go 1 or 2 rails for position on the 6. Now stun this off the long rail. Probably wants to land on the opposite long rail on the middle diamond, and that's pretty good. Gives him a nice angle to get down for the 8 ball. Can just play this center ball and just follow, just heading before the side pocket on the long rail, and very good position on the 8. So both players look in great form. Joshua was undefeated to get to this stage. Rack number 3, the Little Russian to break. Reigning world champion. It's quite an amazing feat at a tender age of 20 years old. Great break by Fedor, making the 1 ball in the side and the 2 ball in the corner. Now he's just checking to see whether that 3 ball goes past the 7. It looks very tight. Let's see what he opts to play. Does the 3 pass the 7? If it does, then this rack could be set up nicely. But any contact from the 3 going past the 7, if it contacts the 7, he may miss the pot. Yeah, taking a good look to see whether it passes. Taking his time, and quite rightly so. It looks like it just might go past the 7 from that angle there. From that view we just saw, it looks like there is a window. Needs to bear down on this and give it full attention. And there you have it, slight contact on the 7. Misses the pot and unfortunately scratched there. I think he was playing it with some inside spin and just mishit the shot completely. Fedor will be a little bit upset with that shot, but shouldn't faze him too much. He's been there and done it before. So maybe some top right, just like that. Play the 5 in the corner or the side pocket. He left himself 2 options there. He could go in the corner or the side. He's landed very nice for the corner pocket and can just stun this forward. Just like that. And just 1 rail position, centre ball or maybe a touch of right. Get your cue ball into the middle of the table. And there you have it. The killer filler should take a 2-1 lead. And rightly so. Filler to break. This is an alternate break format. Race to 9. Good productive break. Makes the 1 ball in the side. Didn't quite control the cue ball as he would have liked. Center of the table would have been much better, but has got a shot on the 2. Mind you, it's not an easy shot. For me, I'd be thinking to stay down and follow through. Don't move my head. Trust my technique and fundamentals. You need a solid bridge here. Cue balls on the rail. Stay down. Okay, I didn't see any flaw in his technique. It was just a miss. We are all human and can miss. Yeah, like I said, it was a tricky shot, but lucky enough for Joshua, has snookered Fedor. Easy enough to hit this 2 ball. But at the top level, you want to try and make it harder for your opponent. You want to hit this 2 ball and try and get a safety out of it, or maybe even a snooker. Could maybe try and hit this half ball and try and get some separation. Maybe try and send the cue ball back down table, or hit the... Try and bank the 2 onto the long rail and then just short rail. Maybe put it somewhere by the 4 ball. He's got a couple of options. That's probably the most logical shot I see. So he's playing this with a touch of right spin to check this cue ball up. And it was a good call by me. He did bank the 2 ball over towards the 4. Unfortunately scratched. That was fully intended. And an excellent attempt by Fedor. Unfortunately scratched there. It's given Joshua ball in hand. Mind you, he's faced with a tricky position. Needs shape on the 3 ball. Now, does he play short side shape for the corner, or does he elect to go into them? I like trying to dislodge the 3 and 9. Hitting the long rail and going... Wow, he hit that perfect. Another great shot by the maestro, Joshua Filler. He's played at least 3 great shots in this match already, and we're only at 2-1. High right, 2-3 rails, position for the 4 ball. Okay, he's landed a bit funny. The tangent line of the cue ball coming off the rail naturally goes into the 6 ball. That's what he's just looking at now. Does he try and avoid it, or does he go into the 6 ball to maintain shape? I like going into the 6 ball here. Just like that, maintain shape for the 5 and have the 6 in a handy position too. Well thought out there by Joshua. He's a very intelligent player. They both are, actually. Sets this rack up nicely. I like just playing this one rail, plain ball. He might stun around 2 rails. It's preference, really. It depends on what shaft you're using as well. For me, different kind of shots you play, your shot selection.
So all those memories you can see soon on Billiard Network.
Fedor GORST to break. There you see his Q-Tech sponsor on his shirt, and he's using a carbon fiber shaft. A lot of players do these days. Let's see how he hits this break. So he wants to make either the one in the side or the corner ball in the corner pocket. Has made the one in the side, but hasn't got a total of 3 points or more. So he only made 1 ball in the side pocket, and then the 2 ball has gone past the head string, so that's only 2 points. And now that is deemed as an illegal break, so he passes his turn on to Joshua. So Joshua, don't think he can attack. Well, he can bank it. Has to probably figure out a safety here. He can either hide the cue ball behind those wall of balls where he's standing, or he can put the 2 down there too. He just pointed his cue to behind the 4 ball, and he looks like he's putting the 2 ball there behind the wall of balls, and just as intended. Well executed shot there, well thought out. He probably thought it's easier to get the 2 ball behind cover rather than the cue ball. So intelligent decision. Now Fedor's faced with a kick. It looks like there's a gap between the 4 and 6. Yeah, just looking at that path between the 4 and 6 to try and make contact with the 2 ball. Kind of foolish. Actually, if he hit it 3/4 ball, hit the short rail, hit it 3/4 ball, the cue ball would actually track towards the 3 and the 4, sending the 2 ball down the table. Now this is what I see. Maybe he's thinking the same. You've heard of the saying, great minds think alike. Yeah, it looks like he's going to play that shot. Yeah, so ideally a 3/4 ball contact on the 2, hitting the left-hand side of it from behind, and try and get the cue ball to track behind the 3 and the 4 and send the 2 ball down table. There you go, it did track towards the 3 and 4, but maybe too much. And has he left the gap? By Fedor's body language there, looks like he has left an open shot for Joshua. He's probably going to draw this back. Make sure you got a closed bridge for this shot. You're using power. Draw this back try and hit the long rail and get position, but unfortunately it's scratched. Just got into the cue ball a little bit too much there. It wasn't an easy shot to execute. Nevertheless, has given Fedor, ball in hand. Ideally, you want to play the 3 and draw back slightly and play the 4 in the same pocket, but you want to be straight on the 4 ideally. Okay, so he's using the long rail. Just come off it and try and get straight on this 4 ball. See, he's landed kind of awkward there. I liked drawing back the 3 ball. I think it was easier to get straight on the 4 by drawing back on the 3 ball. He could have even drew back into the 8 ball. So this is a little bit tricky now. Could either roll this in dead weight, which I don't like, with the spider as well, or he could maybe stun around the back of it. It looks like there's enough room behind the 5 ball to stun around the back of it. Needs some finesse here. Needs a smooth cue action with some finesse. Has overhit that there again. His speed control was out. I would have put a speed control of maybe 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 on that shot. Or you could even go like 0.7 or 0.8 for your speed control. That's a good tip for all you amateurs out there. He's overhit this ball, so don't think he can attack. Looks like he's going to play safe. Maybe just clipping the edge. Okay, so he tried to snooker behind the 6 and 9, but his speed control was off again. Mind you, that was a very touchy shot and you had to be very precise. Has left an open shot on this 5 ball. Mind you, it will only be a safety. That's about the best he could do. Couldn't really do much better than that. Mission accomplished. Fedor is going to try and kick behind this 5 ball, get some separation. Wants to try and hit this fairly full, just like that. Well executed kick shot. These guys are really playing some great kick shots. Almost Efren-esque. They're not supposed to be so good at kicking at this age. I'm envious. Yeah, break and run out, shot making, but kicking with such precision at an early age of 20 and 22, you got to say it's quite amazing, really. Very talented players. Got all the shots in the game, all the shots in the book. What does he do? That's to probably play, I think what he did there, he tried to make the 7. He wanted to attack, couldn't see an easy safety, so the 7 was hanging over the side pocket. It was a fairly viable shot, really. You would have thought that any contact on the 7, he would make that in the side pocket. His left Fedor with a, I wouldn't say an easy shot. You've got to bear down on this. Just centre ball striking, make sure of the ball. You're going to have position, just make sure of the ball. There you go, that 8 landed perfect. Stop the cue ball for nice shape on the 6. Some players might roll this 6 ball forward, but there is margin for error there. To hit it harder and let your stroke go is probably a better option. Yeah, he didn't slow roll it, he hit that at a nice medium speed. So there was less margin for error. You know, sometimes the cue ball can go over a bit of dirt or a bit of chalk on the table and can deviate from its path. So that excellent kick shot by Fedor sets up this rack nicely, and game on. 3-2 it should be now. Close encounter, this one. Filler just edging the match 3-2, and what a lovely break. I've noticed with Joshua's break over the years that he makes that one ball in the side a lot. I mean, his percentage of making the one in the side is like 90%, I reckon, or more. And his cue ball central and the one in the side is kind of like Joshua's trademark break. He didn't used to break that good, but obviously put in some work on the break. Okay, couldn't really do much there, so has got a lot of distance between the balls, and the cue ball is tight on the rail. It looks like he has presented Fedor with a shot, but not an easy shot. What would I do? I don't like slow rolling this at all. If I'm going to attack, I like to go around the houses. You need some good cueing, centre ball striking. Make sure of the ball. Making the 2 is of priority, and you want to let your stroke go and maybe just gamble a little bit and try and get a shot on the 3. Maybe go around the houses, try and miss the 5 and 9. Just like that. Oh, he negotiated that path really well, and he hit the 7, but still got a nice shot. Great execution. Both players cueing extremely well. Just draw this back slightly. Maybe he's just overdrawn it just a hair. I like playing this 2 rails, maybe some high right. I've always said if you're cutting the ball to the left, use a bit of right English. If you're cutting the ball to the right, use a bit of left English. It helps the ball in, kind of throws it towards the pocket. Nicely done. Looks like he's got a little angle, so centre ball striking. 1 rail in the middle of the table, give good shape on the 7. See, Joshua might punch this round two rails. Fedor played it 1 rail like I would. Every player has their own language, if you like, on a pool table. Some players prefer some shots, some players prefer others. Like I said, sometimes it comes down to the shaft you use. If I'm using a Revo carbon fiber shaft, I would have played that 1 rail like Fedor did. Maybe if I had a wood shaft, I'd feel more comfortable playing it 2 rails and stunning it likewise, but it's preference. Ties up the match 3-3. Fedor to break, rack number 7. Also has a very good break, Fedor GORST, one of the best on the tour. Excellent break. That's kind of a textbook break, really. One in the side. He made a corner ball as well. Cue ball, central. Unfortunately, he hasn't got a shot on the 2. Well, he has. He can see the 2. He could maybe cut it in, but that's a bit suicidal. He could bank it. Or he could play safe. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he's going to attack or he's going to take a more conservative approach. Fedor, a great student of the game. Always practices hard, does his drills, does the right things off the table as well. And that's what you need to do if you want to be a top player. He banked it, so he chose to go offensive. Wasn't far away. Left Joshua with a tricky shot on this 2 ball though. But if anyone can, Joshua can. Little high right or even centre ball striking here. He probably wants to go 2 rails. Long rail, and just bounce out a little bit for position on the 3. Maybe a touch of right hand English here. Not too much. You don't want to flirt with that side pocket too much. Well played. In prime position now to take out this rack. So he's got position here on the 4. They say why play position when you've got position. So just stop the ball. Or maybe a little draw. It's always good to be close to your work. Sets up this rack nicely. So he wants a little angle on the 8 ball. Bottom right, drawing to the long rail. Get your cue ball centralish or position on the 9. Nicely done by the killer filler. Rack number 8, Joshua to break. Like I said, he nearly made the one in the side, but it went in the corner. That'll do, that'll do. It's a legal break, and looking at his body language, I'm not sure if he can make this 2 ball now. I think he can see it, but I'm not sure if he can see enough to actually make the ball. He's just checking now. It's marginal. Takes a step back, resets himself. Thinks he can pot it. And he actually threw that ball in with a bit of right hand English. There was a slight curve on the cue ball there, very slightly, to get to the potting angle. That was a much better shot than it looked, guys. Another great shot by Joshua. He's pulled off 4 or 5 great shots in this match already. Reaching for his extension. So I like playing this 2 rails, touch of right hand English, and go behind the 6 ball, maintain position for the 5. It's landed a little bit funny on this 5 ball. He's a little bit straight. Well, I wouldn't say straight, but he's going to the right. And he's just elected to just settle for a shot on the 6. Didn't do anything too fancy. He's got confidence in his ability. And looks like he can only stop the ball here and take on a tough 7. But the guy's full of confidence. Shouldn't be a problem. Can just float this in. Play this 8 in the same pocket. Elected to go rail, rail. Has left some distance here. But shouldn't be a problem for the young sensation. Very nicely done. Filler exerts his authority 5-3 to the killer. Fedor needs a good break here. 2 racks down. It is a race to 9. Let's see how he hits them. Usually a very good at the break shot. I'd like to know your thoughts, guys. Who do you think would win in a race to 100? Joshua Filler against Fedor GORST. Let me know your thoughts. Post it in the comment box. I'll be intrigued to find out your views. Very nice break again. Almost textbook again. Made the corner ball. Cue ball central. Emphasis on the break should be keeping your cue ball central. Always gives you the best chance to be on the lowest numbered ball. I wouldn't say it's an easy lay of the land. He's just trying to map out his route or run out here. Does have a problem. The 4 doesn't go past the 8, so needs to find a pocket for that 4 ball. A 1 and 3 are laying nicely, so I would be thinking, what kind of angle do I need on the 3 ball to get to the 4 ball? So I'd have a plan in mind. Where would I play the 4 ball? Ideally, I'd probably like to have my cue ball in the middle of the table and have like a half ball angle on the 3. It's just what he's done. Maybe could have done with a touch more angle for the shot to be more natural. But nevertheless, has got enough angle to float round 2 or 3 rails and maybe play the 3 in the side or the corner. You want to give yourself options here. Play position so you can have options. If it won't go in the side, it could go in the corner. That's what I'd be thinking here. Could even bump the 8 ball here. That's what he's played. He's played to bump the 8 ball. And has left a shot in the corner. Could have been a little bit kinder, that kiss. Landed a little bit awkward. And I'm not sure if the 6 goes past the 8 now. So he solved one problem and has created another. I fancy him to get this though. Priority should be making the ball. So just focus on making the ball. You will have automatic position. Got to leave an angle to attack that 6-8 cluster now. I'd be thinking, is the 6-8 a carom? Doesn't look like a combination's on. Is it a carom? Looks like it can hit the 6 and pot the 8. We shall find out what he has in mind. Just concentrated on making the ball. Has got a lovely natural angle to attack the 6-8 cluster. So by the way he's pointing his cue, looks like he's going to go into this, and this presents a lovely angle to just go into the middle of the 6 and 8 and separate them, and hopefully leaving you a shot on the 6. That's what he'll have in mind. So it's just centre ball striking, get your speed right. You've got the perfect line there. And wow, amazing shot. Exactly how I said. Hit the middle of the 6 and the 8 to give a perfect shot on the 6. Looks like he's landed pretty flat on the 6 ball. So I would just roll forward where he's pointing his cue now and take the 7 long. Just roll this forward, maybe a couple of feet. Looks like he underhit that a little bit. Would have liked his cue ball to travel maybe 2 or 3 inches further. Nevertheless, has a very makeable shot. It looks like he's drawing around the rails here. Yeah, like that. I think he wanted to play the 9 in the corner, but he hit that 7 ball hard just so he could have a confident stroke on it and use a full stroke rather than a shorter stroke where there would be margin for error. Has got a fairly makeable shot on the 9 in the side pocket. Got to bear down on it though, don't take it for granted. (5-4) filler. Close, exciting match. Like I said, a nice treat for you guys. 2 world champions going head to head. Joshua's trademark break there. 1 in the side, corner ball, cue ball, fairly central. A nice shot on the lowest numbered ball. Just goes to show what a good break-off shot can do. You don't really have to be a great player in 9 ball. If you've got a good break, you can do some damage. So just some high right, come 2 rails. You want to hit the 2nd rail and bounce out. Yeah, that bounce off the 2nd rail was important. You never want your cue ball on the rail. So his options here can stun to the long rail and come to the middle of the table. I think that's what he intended to play, but has underhit the ball. Yeah, sometimes you might see with Joshua, he's just a little bit lackadaisical. But he's such a great shot maker that he gets himself out of trouble so many times. It's unreal. Probably the best shot maker on the planet. Here's another one for you guys. Who do you think is the best shot maker? Earl Strickland in his prime or Joshua Filler right now? So just concentrate on making this ball. You will have position on the 8. Didn't expect that. I think he was a bit annoyed from his last couple of shots that got a little bit frustrated and didn't play the best of shots. And has gifted Fedor this rack. 1 rail position, just center ball. Try and get your speed right. Maybe put a speed number to the shot. Or he could draw it around 2 rails. Depends on how he feels, and 1 rail was probably the most viable option. Got the speed perfect there. I would have put maybe a 3 speed on that shot. (5-5) guys. We have a thriller in Manila, or should I say Italy. I've got to say that Fedor's probably not played his best game in this match so far, and he's got to be happy to be 5-5. He's probably made 2 or 3 errors more than Joshua. Joshua's actually played pretty good. Better than good, actually. I would say he's played pretty great. He's come out with 2 or 3 great kick shots and some great shot making. Not too many errors so far in this match. Maybe 2 errors for Joshua, 3 or 4 for Fedor. Nobody can play perfect all the time. We're all human. Even if you're a world champion, you can always have an off day. But like I said, he'll be pretty happy to be 5-5 in this match. And he's at the table. So, in hindsight, he's favourite if he's 5-5 and at the table. But obviously a long way to go. Just looking to see if he can maybe hit this rail first to kick the 2 in. The 3 lies very close to the 2. So it looked like he's just called over for a referee. He just asked Joshua, do you want to have a look at this shot? Because it's going to be very close if he elects to kick the 2 ball in. The 3 is very close to it, so could be a possible foul in the making. That's why he rightly calls the referee over to have a look. They see Dave Morris runs the EUROTOUR. And they see he's working out his system. That's quite a useful system. I can explain it, but it's maybe a bit technical. But it's a pretty well-known system where you take measurements from how far the ball is from the rail, then you add that onto the rail to find your point on the rail. It's a little bit hard to describe. I need to actually have a table to show you. But he's used the system to kick the rail first and try and pop the 2 ball. And it paid off. Great shot, well executed. The referee says no foul, continue. Unfortunately, he's hampered. He does have a shot in the corner on this 3, but he's hampered by the 6 ball. So for me, I have a kind of system for this shot. I line up my cue over the cue ball to get my aiming line, and then I won't put much of a backswing on it. I would kind of keep the cue on that line and kind of push forward. That's a little tip for you guys. You're keeping your cue on line by not having a big backswing. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's getting his aiming line now. A couple of short little feathers. Now he doesn't want to pull back too far to lose his line on his backswing. So do you see that? Just kind of got his aiming line and straight through. Great shot by Fedor GORST. And if you use that system, it pays off. You know, it keeps your cue on line and there's not much margin for error. Excellent shot there by current world champion Fedor GORST. Pretty easy lay of the land now. You can just stop your rock here. Ideally you wanna angle here on the 6 ball. But it looks to be pretty flat on the 5. So be interesting to see what he does here. Don't think he's got too many options. He might have to play a straightish shot on the 6. Just walking around to have a look. Yeah, he didn't want to get too technical on himself. Has got a nice little angle. So it looks like he can stun into the long rail. Maybe a bit of low left. Come 2 rails to where he's standing to play the 7 in the corner. A bit of low left here. Stun into the rail. Oh, he didn't have any angle. He drew that straight back. There was no need to use the rail. Well executed. Sets up this rack nicely for Fedor to actually take a lead in this match. Slightly come too far for the 8 ball, but like I said, when you have position, why play for position? I would just draw this back a couple of inches. You've got a shot on the 9, so why complicate things? Simplicity is the key. And who would think Fedor GORST would be 6-5 up in this race to 9? We've got action, guys. Joshua would like to level up the scoreline. Great break again, 1 in the side, shot on the 2. Looks pretty natural position for the 3 ball. Doesn't look like there's too many problems in this rack. So can just float this 2 rails. 1, 2. Didn't want to slow roll it like dead weight, because like I said before, there is margin for error rolling a ball dead weight. So probably wants to play like 9 o'clock on the cue ball, try and get his cue ball center table or a bit towards the left to where he's standing. Play the 6 in the corner pocket. Nicely done. And just draw this back 6 or 7 inches. You could stun into the rail here, some left hand spin, get closer to your work, maybe over hit that a hair, but it's got a nice angle to just float this in the 2 rails or 1 rail. I liked hitting that 2 rails and let your stroke go a bit and play a more confident shot. Nevertheless, in prime position, ties up the match again. 6-6. It's been a great match so far. Fedor was trailing by a couple of racks earlier on in this match, but has tied things up, and he's got to be happy to be 6-6. I think Josh has played slightly better than Fedor in this match. Great break again. These guys really do break the balls well with this newer kind of format on the break. I say new, but it's been around for many years now, where we have the 9 ball on the spot instead of the 1 ball on the spot, which makes the break a little bit more trickier. This style of break, moving the rack forward, was invented to stop the soft break. With the older style of rack, where the 1 was on the spot, the corner ball used to go in relentlessly, and it was run out, run out, run out, and it was very monotonous, you know. We didn't get to see other beautiful parts of the game, like push-outs and kicking and some safeties. And with this style of break, we can see that more. Good shot there by Fedor. Wasn't an easy shot. It was kind of a blind pocket. Sets up this rack nicely. The 7 looks a bit awkward. I would just play this maybe a hair of left-hand English. You want it fairly central in the middle of the table. Yeah, centre ball was probably good enough. If anything, he used a hair of of left-hand English. Got a beautiful angle on the 4 ball. Now he'll be thinking, how do I get on the 7 ball? The 6 is lying handy, so shouldn't be too much of a problem to get good position on that 7. Now I'll be thinking, I don't want to be too off the rail here, just to where he was pointing, maybe an inch off the rail, so you've got an angle to make the 7 and bounce your cue ball out for the 8. Okay, so he's gone a little bit further than he would have intended, I would have thought. Maybe 1 or 2 inches off the rail was good enough. Now makes this pot a little bit harder. Got to bear down on this. Just center ball. You will have natural position. Let's see how he plays it. Looks like he's stunning it. A lot of players would roll this ball forward. Okay, he stunned it. It was a confident stroke. I get what he was playing. Yeah, it's always better to stun the ball rather than roll it, for obvious reasons, like you can let your stroke go. But Fedor is going to take a 7-6 lead. Filler to break. The winner of this match will advance to the last 16 of the EUROTOUR. Another great break. Man, these guys are breaking good. How do you like it? How do you like the lay of the land? Easy run out? Excellent break. Probably the best break of the match. Maybe one of the best breaks of the tournament. I wanted to draw back a little bit more for this 4 ball. Becomes a little bit touchy now. Just got to put a nice soft stun on this. Hits it into the rail, that's fine. Perfect position. Can stun into the rail here. The centre ball striking, maybe a little bit of right hand English. Stun to the long rail again. Centre ball striking. Lovely position on the 9 to level up the score again. What a roller coaster this match is. Rack number 15, the young Russian Fedor GORST to break. Wants to obviously try and get on the hill first to put some pressure on your opponent. That's what you should ideally be thinking. Very good break. His cue ball did get kicked down table. Mind you, has a good shot on this 2 ball. It's coming to crunch time. This is the exciting part of the match. Let's see who's going to handle the pressure. We are all human and we all do feel pressure. It's just that some players handle the pressure better than others. Some players might crumble and some players might use it positively, the pressure. Embrace the pressure. So 1 good shot on this 2 ball and we'll set up the rack nicely. Yes, draw it back a couple of inches. Oh, he missed that ball. I didn't expect him to miss that ball, but it looks like he got lucky and Joshua looked up to the heavens. There hasn't been too many lucky shots in this match. Maybe that's the first for this match. But it's the nature of the beast. That's always going to happen on a 9 by 4.5 surface with big pool balls. A lot of things can happen. You can get good rolls and bad rolls. But the bad rolls we just got to take on the chin. It is the nature of the game. We shouldn't let ourselves get frustrated. Because they say in the long run, the luck will even itself out. Joshua just looking for a marker on the table. Wants to try and hit this 2-ball full. Could even try and opt to try and make it in the corner pocket. But he definitely wants to hit it full to get some separation. Unfortunately, it hits the 9-ball and has left. Looks like he's left a shot in the side pocket for Fedor. I like going forward with this, maybe with some high left. With these low deflection shafts, using English is quite easy because you're just going to aim where you usually aim for the point of contact, and you use put a bit of spin on it, and it's not going to deflect as much as the higher deflection shaft. Sorry. Oh, it looks like he's going to stun past it. That's not a bad option as well. Okay, that would do as well. A lot of players would have rolled that ball forward with some inside English. But Fedor's quite a smart player, and he knew that playing with a lot of English, he could maybe sacrifice making the ball. So he opted for a more guaranteed way of potting the ball and getting position. So it's smart thinking, if you think about it. You've always got to try and play the percentages in 9-ball or any kind of pool game, for that matter. Nice shot there, but it's just come slightly off angle. Wanted to either be straight or lower on this 4-ball so he can get down for the 5. Looks like now he can just play it with some high right. There's a touch of English, bounce forward onto the long rail and try and get closer to the 5. I don't think he'll do anything more than that. Yeah, just like I said. And now just going to make sure of the pot, centre ball striking, and get in position for the 6. Ideally you want to angle on the 6 to get down for the 8. No need to use any English here, just centre ball striking. Make sure of the ball. If he could get his cue ball into where it is now, that would be absolutely perfect. You can sometimes use the cue ball as a reference for your position. A lot of the time where the cue ball lies, that's where you need the actual cue ball to be. So bear that in mind, guys. The cue ball can be a reference sometimes. He's underhit that. Probably the story of this match for Fedor. His speed control has kind of been off. I would have put a number to that, maybe 3.5 or a 4 speed, to make sure I get the right side of the 6-ball. Now has to negotiate a different path. Plan B will come into effect. I like drawing in and out of the corner here. Looks like it's presented itself well for that shot. In and out of the corner. And get your cue ball onto the right hand side of the 8. Speed control again. Fedor GORST. Okay, he's got a shot. I like either playing this 2-rail for the 9 in the corner, going underneath the 9, or letting my stroke go and letting the cue ball go up and down the table. So he'll make the 8 hit the short rail, and then the other short rail on the other side of the table, and hopefully come back into the middle of the table. That way I can let my stroke go and play with a full stroke, and I'm pretty confident I'm going to make the ball with this kind of stroke And exactly what he's done is just underhit it slightly, but not a problem at all. Nicely negotiated run out, puts the young Russian on the hill, 8-7 to Fedor GORST. So Joshua to break, ideally wants to tie up the match here, and puts in a trademark Joshua break. Man, how good has this guy been breaking in this particular match? It's kind of amazing to see him down in the match after having such a good break in this match. Okay, so played that with a little bit of high right. Use the rail as a reference to get straight in on this ball. Looks like he can just roll forward here. Or would he like to stun it? Okay, he's jacking up slightly and he's going to stun this ball in. A lot of the modern age players, they like to stun the ball rather than slow roll it. Whereas if you looked at the older generation, the Buddy Halls and the Nick Varners, they slow rolled the ball a lot. So needs a nice angle on the 7 ball to get to the 8, which looks like the key shot of the rack. Okay, so he's played a shot, but he's quite straight on this 7 ball now. He needs a deep power draw here. Ideally, he wants to use the long rail with some low right English to come right back. I don't think he's going to draw directly back. Yeah, he used the long rail. Pinched the pocket a little bit. Lovely position. Looks like it's going to be 8-8, guys. We've got hill action. Buckle up. So guys, we've got hill action. We've got 2 world champions, 2 recent world champions and the reigning world champion locked up at hill for a match in the next round. This is the vital rack of the match. Both guys have played pretty good. Probably Joshua just edges it in the AccuStats. Probably made 1 or 2 less errors than Fedor. Fedor just checking the rack. He wants them balls to be completely frozen so they split nicely. And hopefully he can get an easy run out. We shall see. But you guys have been in for a treat, really, in this match. Very exciting. A lot of swings. More swings than a playground. Let's see how he hits them. A reigning world champion. Composing himself. Setting himself up for the break. You shouldn't be thinking about the scoreline at this stage. Just concentrating on your technique and your fundamentals. Just focusing on the rack and the shots presented in front of you. No external thoughts like the money or who am I going to play in the next round. Great productive break there by Fedor. Has got a nice shot on the 2 ball. Made the 1 in the side and the corner ball. Cue ball central. And like I said, these guys are breaking excellently. Nothing the poor guy can do sat in his chair. He's just got to hope that Fedor misses. Just stun this ball out. Center ball striking. Or a shot on the 4. Now the key shot of the rack looks like to be the 5 to the 6. So he's just working out where he wants his cue ball to be. Somewhere around there. Be interesting to see how he plays this. Is he going to stun or is he going to go forward with inside English on the 5 ball? I'm talking about the 5 ball, not the 4 ball. The 4 ball he wants to get into ideal position. I wouldn't say this is a given to get out in this rack, but you'd take it any day in a hill decider. Okay, so he's got options here. He can either draw back or go forward with inside English. His preference really. So it looks like to me he's going to go forward with some right hand English, right hand top. Maybe 2 o'clock on the cue ball. Yeah, that's what he's playing. High right, 1, 2, maybe 3 rails. Okay, he just didn't get that much follow on that ball as he would have liked, but still in good position. Just a couple of shots away from winning this match. Centre ball striking. No need to put any English on this. I mean, you could stun off 2 rails here, which is probably a wise choice. To let your stroke go and hit the ball with a bit more authority. Now it's all about getting from the 7 to the 8. His heart rate must be sky high, probably around the 140, 150 beats per minute mark. But he's been there and done it before. He won't be fazed by this. Okay, the penultimate shot of the whole match. Low right, draw somewhere where you want the cue ball now. Like I said, you can use a cue ball as a reference. Low right, draw this ball back, position on the 9. That'll do. Not ideal, but that'll do. Coming towards the end of this match. This is the last ball. What a treat we've been given with this match. 2 greats of the game. Dominating the world of 9-ball these days. Fedor will be over the moon to win this match, especially beating Joshua. Not easy to beat the killer Filler.
Yes!
Well done, Fedor GORST. Great win there. 9-8 to Fedor GORST. What a match that was. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like, please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for some more great matches from across the globe only on the Billiard Network. Stay tuned, guys. See you soon.